Hello everybody, this is me, Tim from Tim and Jordan. I'm wrestling back again with another video this time. I'm sick at the moment, so yeah, of course, this is going to be a pretty short video. The reason I'm actually doing this is, I know it's very late, but 2 days late. Yesterday I was not feeling well at all, even worse than today. And yeah, on Tuesday I was really busy. So yeah, today is the day to do this review. It's going to be nice and short, so let's get into it. Our first segment of the night was Mick Foley coming out. He said he gave credit when credit was due to SmackDown, but announces the entrance of Charlotte. Charlotte issues Dana Brooke the apology, and Sasha Banks arrives. Of course, you know, Dana Brooke needs to apologize, so then she does, hence apologize to Charlotte. She's sort of playing this puppet-like figure and just acting up to Charlotte, really, acting with her. And obviously taking her back because she's the champion, and Dana Brooke's a bit of a coward, so she's not going to back away from the champion. I guess that's kind of smart, I guess. Sasha Banks arrives, and she says that she is the face of WWE. Bayley arrives, and she petitions whether her victory last week deserves a match. And Foley says he dictates what the matches will be and when they will happen. Banks wants Banks versus Bayley for a match against Charlotte, which will be at Champions. Dana Brooke is also in this match, so again, Charlotte doesn't like this, but whatever. The match goes underway. So continue on from this, we get the actual match, and in the match starts off, you know, pretty square, and Brooks breaking up pins in the match and acting aggressively in the match. Banks tries a superplex, which is where she gets both of them, tries to suplex them to a close fall. Bayley breaks up to a Banks statement, and Banks interrupts a Bayley to belly suplex to roll up and win. So Sasha Banks wins the match, and henceforth the feud continues between Charlotte and Sasha Banks. I'm really liking this feud at the moment. Again, I feel like it's necessary to hold off on the 4 horsewomen, or at the moment 3 horsewomen gimmick at the moment, because of course that kind of needs to build up for a bit longer. I was thinking more like a Survivor Series for the 3 horsemen, maybe 4 horsewomen at WrestleMania. So yeah, of course you gotta build up to that. So I like the way they're gonna take it nice and slowly, one by one. And yeah, we're back into this, of course, for Clash of Champions. And at Clash of Champions, we will see possibly a win for Charlotte to hold off the feud just a bit longer, and then of course it will mean that, you know, you can have matches between Sasha Banks and Bayley once again, or even Charlotte and Bayley. So just give you like a good bit of diversity there. I mean, that's what I think. Not necessarily not gonna happen like that way, but yeah, I do think Charlotte will retain. Next up backstage, we see KO and Jericho having a go at Mick Foley, saying, you know, this guy can't do his job, whatever, and also go to the announcer. Great work there, very entertaining, love it. Second match of the night, it's Bo Dallas and takes on a jobber. So in this jobber encounter, Jericho is on the highlight reel. Sorry, no, what am I looking at? Yeah, no, Bo Dallas wins. What am I talking about? Bo Dallas wins pretty convincingly as well. Next up, we see, before we get to the match, it's Jericho on the highlight reel, and he is with Sami Zayn. He says thank you sarcastically to Jericho after, you know, Jericho calls Sami Zayn a lowlife, and Jericho says that Zayn is jealous. He's saying this jealous because he's not Jericho. Oh my god. Zayn calls Jericho Owens bitch, and Jericho hits a codebreaker on Zayn. Of course, you know, very entertaining here. Zayn obviously thinking, oh, Jericho, you're never what we once were. Me and Owens in a nice little talk. A little promo from Zayn, who's actually pretty good at the promos. Very good at the promos. And he should get more of them, more time on the mic, which is always a good thing for Zayn. Because he said, you know, we lived up to become you. Every time we wrestled, we were looking up to you. And now you become this, and you're nothing more than whatever he said, Owens is bitch. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of entertaining to see that kind of angle of things, you know, from a different side perspective. It's very real, very tangible, just like when The Miz talked to Daniel Bryan. You know, it's got that kind of shoot aspect to it, which I really like, and it's just a very nice promo, very strong segment. Could have gone on a bit longer, and I could have stretched out a bit more, but we'll see. We'll see from here, because Sami Zayn, again, he's kind of like flopping around on the card, so we'll see where he goes from here. Of course, you know, Jericho and Zayn having a bit of feud now. That's going to be really interesting, along with KO. Could be intermixed there, but I think Jericho versus Zayn, a rematch, I think, possibly. Is it a rematch? I'm not sure, but this match needs to happen. Clash of Champions, lads. Anyway, on to the next match, because we know the story. It's Cesaro versus Sheamus in the best of 7 series, of course. It was 3-0 leading into that show last week, or the live show, and of course, we all know Cesaro will win 3-1. Tonight, he will take on Sheamus again. Sheamus goes out with the sharpshooter. Cesaro returned with Celtic Cross to get a rope pin using his feet for leverage, and wins the match. Of course, you know, he kind of took the easy way out, which is kind of, you know, realistic. You know, he had to find some easy way out to retain his stamina and all this. I like one thing about the Special 7 series I kind of like is the realism. Like, they have to sort of retain their health, so this match in particular, quite short, quite conservative from both of them, because they knew that they needed to retain themselves, because of course, you know, it could have gone next match. Cesaro really put himself on the line a bit more, because he had to win. It's kind of must win for his next couple of matches. Well, obviously, in fact, for every match for him. Sheamus can lose one match, he's expendable to lose another match. It's 3-2 currently, so of course it's going to go to 7 series. So Cesaro is going to win the next match. We all know that. It's going to culminate at Clash of Champions. But one thing I dislike, sort of like, is this one in particular. It's kind of predictable. I know why they don't do best of 7 series all that often, because, you know, it's quite predictable this is going to go best of 7 series. It's just like, why not just have a match at the pay-per-view if it's going to build up to that match at the pay-per-view? But it does put a bit of prestige about it, and also kind of makes it feel like a very big feud. And I like it, you know, once in a while doing this sort of thing. So I think it's an interesting way to do it, and I think you know, it's going to be an emotional roller coaster at the pay-per-view. Our next match, it is Nia Jax versus Alicia Fox. Oh dear God, Foxy, why did you walk into this? Anyways, Mick Foley plus Rollins talk about Ben, the Stephanie conspiracy, about, you know, other stuff like this, about Reigns, about everything, and we get our next match. Alicia Fox versus Nia Jax. So I was going to talk about it. Sorry about the other promo there, but some good, interesting promos backstage actually, which were pretty good. Jax takes Fox through the barricade, which is an amazing move here. Very shocking. She just goes outstage, bang, through there. She literally she picks up Alicia Fox like a ragdoll, just whacking her off the barricades and kills her, literally kills her, and wins the match. Ultimate monster heat here. I mean, if you can like even describe this as a match, I wouldn't. It's a real fight feel to it, and of course Nia Jax has already now positioned herself to be pretty much up there for that women's championship, so I'm going to be really interested to see if she can break away through to that match. I think this is a good way of like cutting her as a roadblock towards that sort of Charlotte Sasha Banks feud. Maybe she might, I don't know, interrupt, or maybe she'll do something else, or maybe she'll be an opponent for one of them. But it's always going to be a thing that she will never back down to a fight, as we can see here. And she's pretty much extreme outside the ring, and that she just has this mean streak to her, which just kind of adds to this like ferocity about her. So it's very aggressive style, and just really cool. So I mean, now is the time to put her in the main event scene if I've seen anything about her, and definitely she's top star talent in the eyes of like she just has this about her, and I think she's got a nice little bit of reaction from the crowd here, so I think it's good to go. So, I mean, now or never, really. And also, her song is really catchy, so that's always a plus. Finisher, maybe need to work on it a bit, but yeah, nice song. In our next segment, and it is The New Day arrive, and they apologise for the club last week. The club are doing the All Day shtick, and it was not that enjoyable, as we all remember that. The club arrive and interrupt a little bit. Bam, bam, bam. What are you talking about? You're the New Day, you're stupid, and then the usual shtick, and then the match started. This match was, I believe, Xavier Woods versus some other people. Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston versus the New Day. I think it was just a standard out tag team match. I'm not quite sure, can't remember. Watched this yesterday. And a magic killer by the club to win the match after getting help. So after Woods was not able to get back in the ring to help out Kingston. So yeah, again the match ended, and pretty much straight off domination by the New Day, the club. Sorry. Yeah. So that was how that ended. Pretty extreme. What do we have next? But Jinder Mahal versus Jack Swagger. Mahal looks to reverse a neckbreaker. On a reverse neckbreaker, reversing the Swagger bomb for the win. And in this one, Jinder Mahal actually looked kind of promising, to be honest. He's not too bad in the ring, and he kind of works well here. Again, he finished off. He had a little salute thing afterwards. I don't know what that was about. Kind of weird thing that's going on. The music is meh, but his kind of demeanor is kind of cool, to be honest. Kind of like it. If he retains this sort of dark kind of image, he could do strides for himself, and I think that'll be a good way to go for him. He probably needs to develop himself a bit more, maybe affirm himself in the division, and even, you know, take a few steps towards fighting for the mid-card title against, you know maybe Rusev, maybe like a mid-card position, more like. But yeah, from here, the next step is to try again the pay-per-view. That will be good, and we'll hope for the best for him, really. Not quite as, obviously, proficient as what Heath Slater is in at the moment as a tag team champion. Is he a tag team champion? I can't remember. Or he just won the tag team tournament? No, he is a tag team champion. But yeah, still, I guess he's on a bit of a roll, even though he's on one match. I think this is good news for him, but I don't know. Something tells me that he's just going to be stuck in this one position. So, yeah, I don't know where to see from this. The next one, Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy came out, and they basically didn't really make that interesting much comments as usual. Sometimes they're just a bit flat. Sometimes this is one of those weeks. So again, Primo and Epic came out. They were all like doo 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 doo, and then just turn out their flyers there. A bit the New Day with the whole let's interact with the crowd, and alrighty, it's getting a bit old. Primo and Epico throwing around flyers for the crowd with fake reactions is pretty boring, to be honest. It's not that interesting. The match, though, was also not that interesting. Surprise, surprise. So Epico defeats Amore with a leg hold from the outside by Primo. I couldn't honestly. Throughout the whole match, I was thinking, is that actually Epico? Trying to read his trunks. Yeah, it was actually Epico. Enzo Amore, again, yeah, it was alright. Nice DDT. He does a nice DDT, to be honest, so that was pretty cool. Again, another BS finish, and Primo and Epico getting another BS win. It's just kind of typical, this sort of thing again. But I like the way that, Primo and Epico never really get a clean finish. Could this mean that, Enzo Amore and Casca over? Of course it does mean that. So again, when they finally get a clean win, it'll be a nice big celebration for them. Primo and Epico, again, I hate them, so I guess they're doing their job well. But yeah, maybe a bit more an anti-American adoption of the role. They sort of, at the moment, they're just sort of like the hateable weirdos, silly people. But again, I don't know. I'm interested to see where this takes, but I'm pretty sure it's just going to be stagnated. Again, another little stepping stone for Cass and Enzo is always, you know, they're kind of lost in the fray at the moment, just a little bit. So I'm interested to see what happens. Honestly, probably putting them against the likes of Premium Epico and at the pay-per-view probably be a pretty good idea, because honestly it will mean their first clean finish and also a nice stepping stone towards that tag team championship against the New Day later on down the road. So again, it's gonna be a nice victory for them, and obviously a nice little feather in the cap as well. Next up, we have our main event, and it's Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. We see a bit of dominance here by Kevin Owens early on, getting calls and just basically sort of trying to ground Roman Reigns a bit. But then outside the ring, we see clotheslines from Roman Reigns, as he sort of just does a stupid shtick, getting out of lots of individual obstacles. And he hits the clothesline again to the outside Owens. Owens part, but a bad shoulder by Rollins means that Owens taking advantage of this, getting against ring post, giving a little bit of shoulder ring postitis. Rollins abruptly immediately afterwards, and Rollins comes out, hits Kevin Owens. A very annoyed Mick Foley comes out again. The annoyed Mick Foley is getting a bit old, but anyways, literally and figuratively. And he just says, "Go away, Rollins, we need to talk." And the match is restarted to the groan of many. And Reigns and Owens have another 10 minutes of fighting. And it's not something special. It's pretty boring, to be honest. So I just sort of skipped through a bit of it, because it was just kind of like back and forth. We're like, Reigns is down, oh no, and then he gets up again, and then he's punching, clothesline, and maybe the typical move. Just, yeah, it's a bit of brawling. It's more brawling than wrestling, really. Which, I'm not a big fan of brawling as it is. Only when it's done right, and only, occasions when it's needed. This one, it just felt like a bit of a personal fight, but I don't feel like they fully hate each other, so it doesn't even feel personal, really. And as you can tell, Rollins and Kevin Owens hate each other a lot more than Reigns and Owens. But anyways, KO back into the match, and he gives a superplex into a giant fisherman suplex, and then a big roll up, and then wherever close falls ensue. Reigns trying to hit a Superman punch, and then kick out, and then Rusev comes out, interrupts, and KO actually wins the match with a pop-up powerbomb. So again, Rusev is somehow back from his wedding, honeymoon, whatever the heck he's at, thing, and he actually comes on. He says, "You know what? I'm putting a stop to this BS." Again, I'm glad KO wins. This means a clearing path for him versus Seth Rollins, and that's 2 weeks away. A clash of champions. And I'm very excited because, again, love those two guys. Again, what? So yeah, great news for Owens. Very happy for him, and it means a clear path for him against Rollins. Rollins, of course, is just breaking down at the moment, and you can tell from from what Kevin Owens is saying, he's on fire with the mic. He's going to keep that title for longer, and he knows that his biggest weakness is, of course, Triple H, because Triple H dictates a lot of things, and yeah, Rollins has lost his support from of course a higher up, and he's kind of just like supportless at the moment, and he's got no real supporter behind him, and he's just lost the moment. So again, Kevin Owens can guide himself to this victory. Rollins is in the way. He's already gotten rid of Rollins. He's got no more obstacles to face, and he's gone bang, bang, bang. So yeah, very excited about that. Anyways, Raw was alright overall. Not as good as last week, but yeah, it was just sort of mediocre. Like, it's kind of just in the way of being a go-home show, so there's not like the story development, like the story is not as like, it's more vague. Obviously, the next week we're gonna get a lot more clarification. Only a few matches really announced. Not really many matches announced this night for Clash of Champions, even though it's only 2 weeks away. And also, yeah, also it's just, you know, just some things to get out of the way, and obviously some pretty good promos. That's probably the strong suit of the card, because, you know, Rollins is always having great promos. He really does. Kevin Owens and Rollins on fire, especially in that later promo, and also earlier promos as well. And also Sasha Banks coming out and Bayley. So it's a really interesting mix there, and personally I'm in love with the main kind of feuds that are going on in the women's division and the men's division. So pretty much like it all, and I'm really happy with Raw at the moment. It's probably I'm most comfortable with it now than a few weeks ago, so I'm really happy about it now. And yeah, I'm glad to see it's in this position, so we'll see how this goes in the future. Anyways, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment below, share if you can, all support us, and see you all next time. Bye guys.